as a community, you don't look at what's wrong with the behavior of a person who is addicted, right? You don't just look at that. You don't just look and say, why do you keep using that? Or why do you keep, smoking that? Or why do you keep looking at that? Or what? That's not it. You have to say, what's right with what you're doing? That will give you more insight. What's right with, what? You're taking that to deal with your depression. Okay, why are you depressed? That's the real question. Because the other question, well, what's wrong with you? Why do you keep doing that? That adds to the shame. That adds to the shame. But if you come the other way and you say, well, what is it like? What is that doing for you? When you take those substances, when you perform those behaviors, what is it doing for you? And that will give you insight into what they're actually struggling with. It gives you insight into the root issue, okay? And what you're gonna find many times, if you ask those questions, you're gonna find that people are just trying to soothe their pain. That's it. That's all it is. They're trying to fix their brokenness. They're trying to fill their emptiness, right? They're trying to erase their meaninglessness. Those are painful states. Like when you're broken inside, when you have like low boiling emotional pain, that's pain. That's like real pain. You know the reason why people do like cutting and stuff like that? Like the reason why people will do what we call self-harm? Because it distracts from emotional pain. So when a person when a person cuts themselves, like they have a lot of cuts, it's because to deal with that is easier than to sit and think about my life has no meaning. That's easier. This is very important to understand. To feel that emptiness. When people are depressed, their hearts have been broken over and over and over again. It's easier to cut. It's easier to, to do some type of self-harm, to focus on that because it distracts. The way substances distract is the same way that self-harm distracts. From what? Emotional pain. Emotional pain. Okay? So, these are, so using substances, using, other behaviors like, online gambling. You got to understand all of these things give you a dopamine rush. They make you feel good for a moment. They make you feel really good for a moment. If you ask a heroin user, how they feel when they take substances, they're going to always say, all my problems just went away. That's what they're going to say. All my problems just went away. They were gone for for like 6 or 7 hours. Nothing bothered me. Nothing. Some would describe it as a hug, like just a warm hug. Like, so what are they really saying? What are they really saying? They're saying they didn't get that many hugs when they was growing up. They didn't. There was emotional distance. And the human being craves that. The human being needs that. Human beings, and they'll do anything to get it. They'll do anything to get it.